Hello, and welcome to the Freedom Challenge online podcast. Here at the Freedom Challenge, we strive to do good by helping enslaved women and children to do more than you ever thought physically possible, and to do it together by connecting women with a heart for a hurting world. We hope you enjoy your time being informed and encouraged with host Tracy Daugherty and our amazing guests. So let's get ready and join Tracy for this week's episode.
Welcome back to the Freedom Challenge online podcast. This is your host and the director of the Freedom Challenge, Tracy Daugherty. Man, have I been anticipating this podcast and have some pretty special Freedom Sisters, the Freedom Challenge team in the podcast room with me. So I'm going to call them out one by one. You may know them. I'm going to call out first Alyse. She is the administrative assistant, but I got to tell you, she keeps us all in line. She runs a tight ship, this Alyse. Alyse, where are you calling in from? Would you say hello?
Hello, I am calling in from Mableton, Georgia today.
There she is. Next up, we have Brooklyn. She is our content and brand lead, and she is always on this podcast with me. You may not see her. Sometimes you do, but coming in from the back of the podcast room is Brooklyn. Say hello.
Hey guys, I'm calling in from Clearwater, Florida.
Okay. Everyone knows her. Everyone loves her. I'm giving a round of applause for Daria, our events manager. She is spectacular. She's here with us on the podcast. Daria, where are you calling in from?
Yeah, I'm calling in from Colorado Springs, Colorado today.
And finally, with us today is Ruth, our beautiful Scottish statuesque princess and prayer coordinator. Ruth, where are you calling in from?
Hey everyone, I'm calling in from Fayetteville, Georgia.
And there are a few of us that are not here. I'm going to mention them. They're wonderful. But Ella had her baby girl. She will be coming back to the Freedom Challenge here in the new year, but we are so happy to have her back. She's our communication and data lead. And then there's Elaine. She is the oldie, and I'm not talking about age. I'm talking about she's been around from the beginning, but goodie, our field relations specialist. The two of them are not here, but all of us together we are partnering with Jesus and each other to make this mission happen. And what is that mission, you may ask? I think you probably know if you're here, but just to remind you, we are a movement of passionate women who participate in physical challenges that test our limits. We pray, but we also raise funds and awareness that disrupt the cycles of oppression and poverty that can lead to human trafficking. That's what we're all about. And we are wrapping up today, season 5 of the podcast. If you can believe it, this is the last podcast of the year. We will not see you again until 2026, and we're cooking up some good things. But for now, we want to praise God. So many wonderful things have happened through your partnership, through God with us, God in us, God through us. And we want to reminisce. We want to praise. We will not even probably hit the half of it. But what we do, we invite you to celebrate with us. So ladies, let's kick it off. With our fueled passion ready for next year, let's celebrate what God did in 2025. What was notable and remarkable to you?
One of the things that I absolutely love seeing season after season, but especially this year, is the camaraderie of the Freedom Challenge sisterhood. It is overall confidence. There's a sense of, hey, getting to know you at the beginning of a challenge. And then by the end, when we accomplish what we've set out to do, there is a new depthful connection with each and every sister on the team. And it gets me so excited because we've all set out to do something physically challenging, and it continues to grow confidence on and off trail, as well as just conversation and connection. So that camaraderie is unlike anything that I've ever seen. Every single challenge is different, but it always has the same depth that just keeps going and going.
Daria, it never gets old. I
No.
just agree with you. I watch this year after year, and I watch women who didn't know each other walking out life with one another in community. And it is really remarkable to see. And I think we saw that we really did see that deepening this year. I love it. And I agree with you.
Yeah, so many good things. And jumping off you a little bit, Daria, I would agree, just seeing God work in the one life of the people that we know who come back again and again. I just love that. And anyone who knows me, it's always about the one. And for me this year, that was in New York, and we partnered with the Dream Center. And talking of the one, we did an outreach the night before the walk, and it was close to Mother's Day, and a store had donated flowers, and the kids got to come and make their own bunch of flowers. And this kid, his mum was working, so she wasn't there yet, and he was just so excited. He was probably about 10 years old, and he puts together this bunch of flowers, and he sees his mum and just runs to her with the biggest smile on his face, because he gets to give her this beautiful gift, and her face is just full of joy and delight. And it was just this tiny sweet moment that for me was like, this is an everyday kind of thing for many, but not for the people that were on here, for the vulnerable, the oppressed, people who are often trapped in survival. And just the smiles, like, I don't think I'll forget the smile.
Ruth, you brought me into that memory. I wasn't at that challenge, but I know there is so many stories that come out like that. And you just said something that I want to highlight. Flowers are not for survival. Really, they're flourishing. So in this moment, us partnering with a local organization that's doing good work in New York and seeing these little flower exchange between a mom and a child for flourishing in that relationship, it really brings the human part of what we do face to face. I love how you brought that to light. What an awesome story.
Oh gosh, so many good things in 2025. But my greatest moment of impact in this last year was getting to take a team of women to Thailand, a place that's already very near and dear to my heart. But we got to go and visit Tamar Center, which is one of our projects in Pattaya, Thailand, and getting to firsthand see where the funds go that we raise was really incredible. But then also getting to go out and do hands-on ministry with Tamar in the bars, at the beach, with the women that are there, and just getting to experience that personally was really impactful. So it just gives extra passion behind what we do and what I'm doing day to day. So even though I don't on a day to day directly see that, knowing that I've gotten to go and see what the people are doing was really impactful.
And Alyse, that was really a coming back to something that was in your heart, because you lived in Thailand for 5 years? 3 years. But so this was extra special. And the women who went were forever changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, what do you got?
Yeah, so, I mean, of course, we had our own events that we hosted this year, but what was really cool is we had a bunch of my challenges come up. And one of them specifically spurred up another one that we didn't see coming, which was so amazing. We had a group of ladies from the States go over and do the Isle of the Sky hike challenge on their own. And I think the one had a friend there, and they hosted like a little gathering at the house to kind of share the mission and heart behind why they're there. And the ladies in Scotland at that event who've just heard about us for the first time were like, wow, this is incredible. We need to get involved immediately. And I think it was in like within a month or so, they had a full challenge planned. So many people turned out. I was so surprised. I felt like before I knew it, I think around 20 hikers show up. And then the prayer team was massive. There was, I think, at least 10 women on the prayer team. And also the funds raised were incredible too. I would think it was around like 10 pounds, which is equivalent to like 14,000 US dollar. So it was just amazing. I was surprised by it. I wasn't expecting it. And also just really inspired by like, wow, like what fire has been caught, you know? And it's, I mean, it's in each of our hearts, our Freedom Sisters, but just how easy it is to catch the fire and when sharing about the mission.
Yeah, true multiplication. For those of you who don't know what a My Challenge is, a My Challenge is open to anyone. Brooklyn just alluded to that. It is an opportunity for you. Let's just say, I can't do any of this year's challenges, but I have something I want to do and I can lead and plan. Already in 2026, we have a few people cooking up their My Challenge. So you come to the table, you sign up, and we just support you with the basic structure for the fundraising and the assets. So if you heard that, it perked your ears, you can find out more on the website. All right. It's really hard to pick one thing, but what I'm going to pick is what's highlighting to me is the power of invitation. Sometimes we feel intimidated to invite because of our own insecurities. We might go, oh, they don't want to do that. And why would they want to get involved? All those women, human things that go through our heads. And also the power of multiplication, which Brooklyn, you just spoke about. And so how I've seen that this year. The New York City Challenge is very interesting. It was the second time we've been there. It had been in my heart for many years. And prior to this, I was a part of an event who I met someone, and that person joined a challenge. And then she opened her heart, home, and vocation to us, helped support that. Her name is Suzanne. She's a remarkable, brilliant professor. And then our partner, Priscilla, in New York was also from a former communication. So I think that when we can step into a moment and we say, I want to invite you into this ministry that I'm a part of, or this passion I'm a part of. I want you to come alongside, like, what's God doing in you? And that conversation happens. That seed is planted. I'm amazed at where it goes. And in New York City, that is all over the place, this multiplication invitation factor. I also see that with what you alluded to, Brooklyn, with Anne in Scotland. Anne in Scotland is because Connie in the US had this idea for years. As long as I've known Connie, she's been thinking about this idea of doing a My Challenge in Scotland. So here she goes, the power of invitation. She invites Anne, and Anne invites her church. Anne invites her friends, and then they multiply to something even greater than what they saw. The same is true about our friend with I-5. We'll talk a little bit more about that, but a partnership that joined us in the Adirondacks. This was someone invited me to an event. That person invited me to coffee. I invited them into partnership, and there's change and beauty that comes from that. So that's my biggie this year, is the power of invitation and multiplication. It's pretty fun to see. So what is going on this year? So many wonderful things we've reflected on, but let's give a little peek into the new year.
Part 2, Thailand. We're going back. I am taking a team of, I believe, 10 women now to Thailand in February. And I'm super excited because we're just going to continue the momentum, right? Like, only one of the women going with us is a returner. All the rest are new. So this will be many of their first time seeing one of our projects, getting to be hands-on in the work that we're doing. And so I'm just excited to take another group back and continue to spark hearts for the work that's being done by other people in the fields. So head in there February 10th, and I'm just so excited to go.
Well, the wonderful thing is that we're going and that it's completely filled. And the bummer is there's no more room. It was filled up and sold out in weeks. Yeah, in weeks. And we're thrilled about that. The other thing I want to highlight, Alyse, is what we just talked about, the power of invitation and multiplication. There's something amazing that many of these women on this trip with you were invited by someone, and they are new to this kind of thing. So I'm excited about that.
You know, it's exciting too, because the one that's coming back is bringing family with her now too. Yeah. So asking family to come, asking friends to come. I know people that have been on challenges that this is their first time coming to a project now. Yeah. So just the power of like, yes. Yeah.
Multiplication in our hearts. All right, what do we got, Miss Daria? We're going to a new location. Speaking of invitation and multiplication.
Yeah, I literally was just going to comment on that with what you had mentioned, Tracy, about 2025. Power of invitation. We have a sweet sister in Texas. We have many sisters in Texas. That's what I will definitely say to that. We have so many. We've also had many, many asking, when are you going to come to the great state of Texas? And so I'm telling you right now, we're heading to Texas in 2026. We're so excited. We have a dear friend whose name is also Tracy. She and her community in the Dallas-Fort Worth area have really just been intrigued. Her church is very involved with this idea of combating human trafficking. And so to go ahead and begin cultivating in her community this discussion of, what if we brought the Freedom Challenge here? What could we do? And so within that invitation, because if you don't ask, the answer is always no. That's kind of something that I often think about. She came to us, asked, and I said, absolutely. We've been wanting to do a challenge in Texas for years. And this would be an incredible introduction opportunity for your community to make a connection with the work that you're already doing. Getting to even learn more about local community outreaches that she is introducing, and providing that opportunity really to have the community not only partake in this challenge that we'll be doing in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, but then continue forward with that spark of a heart as they continue.
And she also invited her church into this, which is, again, sometimes we women who are dreaming something up, we get a little sheepish. I don't know if my church will be a part of this. It's too big. It's too small. I don't have enough connections. I don't know my pastor. And I love that initiative she took, which was really positive. This is going to be a really wonderful connection for their community and hopefully the start of a longer relationship.
Yeah. So we're excited. I cannot wait to get to Texas in February. It'll be the end of February, and just so excited to see what kind of seed will be spread and what the Lord will do. So, but then also, as we kind of continue forward in the year, I'm also really excited to mention that we are going back to Arkansas. We had our first inaugural challenge in the state of Arkansas this past year in 2025. And we are so excited to get back there. There's so much beauty and intention in the state of Arkansas, amazing trails, and also even more amazing community. And so there's something really unique about Arkansas that is just, you already feel home when you get there. Everyone is so welcoming. There is a huge community of just really passionate women there that we've actually, a few have already told me, they're like, our friends couldn't join last year and they had major FOMO, fear of missing out, and just went along with it. But honestly, they're so excited that we're coming back. So I think we're going to have even bigger turnout this year, which I'm so excited about. So again, just shout out to our dear friend Miranda, who continues to just cultivate there and continue to invite people. So again, there's just a continual common theme. That's honestly what Freedom Challenge is all about: the invitation, and also the intention of seeing a little bit deeper into our bigger why.
Last year, there were over 100 people who were invited to a prayer night at that church. Again, that place of stepping out. Would you host? Would you consider? It's pretty remarkable.
And talking of multiplication and just keep churches and keeping things going, the church actually reached out to me while we were on the Adirondacks Challenge, and they had a women's conference, and they went for a walk and prayed for that challenge and continued to pray for us and human trafficking. So
I love that.
Amazing.
That's good. Yes. All right.
Another place that we're going back to at the top of August this year is Tahoe. We haven't been since 2023. I wasn't on the team then, but from what I've heard and the pictures that I've seen, we had a really large turnout. And I think it's a mixture of both the location, the draw of the location, even the little whispers of like, hey, we're going to Tahoe this year. Everyone's been like, yes, I can't wait. That's so amazing, so beautiful. But also, I've heard we have a great little group of ladies. They're called the Sierra Sisters in that location in the Reno area. And yeah, I hear that they're just on fire for our mission.
Back to the theme of invitation and multiplication. Teresa Vardelos was a Freedom Sister, lived in California, moved with this vision in her heart, planted Sierra Sisters a few years ago, and this whole group of women have just taken it and moved it forward and forward and forward. So little seeds in our hearts, planted faithfully, produce really spectacular things, sometimes more than we even imagine. All right, we're going to Orange County, which is like literally a stone's throw from my house. I'm excited about being local. And one of the reasons we are doing that is because of a now moving into the second year of a partnership with the I-5 Freedom Network. I alluded to a relationship I had met at an event I was at and an invitation to talk more about our interests, what it is that we do. And then Stacy, the director of the I-5 Freedom Network, and I cooked up this wonderful plan of partnering together for 2 years. She and her colleague both came to our Adirondack Challenge. They were met with such awe, such respect. They shared with us, the story of a survivor and how a survivor might move through not having choices into being into freedom. And it was very moving. And the second part of that partnership is for us to have a shared event. I'm really excited about that. This group also helped us put together, which you'll be seeing and hearing more about in 2026, a series of modules, Human Trafficking 101, what we should be looking out for as moms, sisters, friends, workers locally in our communities. And so you'll be seeing more about that, which was part of our partnership. So I want to encourage you, if you live in the area and you want to get involved locally, you want to support the Freedom Challenge, but you also want to care about what's happening boots on the ground in Southern California, this is a good event for you to participate with. And you'll learn more about the I-5 Freedom Network.
And don't we also already have a good current sisterhood of
We
Freedom
do.
Sisters in that area?
Yeah.
So it's great that we get to bring a challenge to them.
So shout out you OC ladies, the power of invite. Someone invited you. And so we want to encourage you to invite even one person to be exposed to both of these wonderful organizations and ministries.
The theme of invitation is very much raising its head, huh? So as we go back to NYC for the third time, maybe there's some invitations that you can start thinking about making. We'll be partnering again with the Dream Centre. I'm really pleased that we're going back. Just every location we go to is really unique, but there is something really powerful about being able to prayer walk through a city where you're actually passing locations where it could be happening, but also that are symbolic of labor trafficking, sex trafficking, walking past hotels, walking past nail salons and construction sites, and very much hidden in plain sight. It gives a little bit of a different kind of dynamic to the way that you pray and the way that you walk. And I have all these thoughts running through my mind about how to have prayer stations as we walk and prayer points as we walk. And so, yeah, I'm inviting you as a prayer coordinator to consider coming and walk in New York in our third year. Whether we're also going to have a prayer team that is prayer walking, but even the long, if you choose the marathon, you will be doing some serious praying while you walk the concrete streets. And talking of prayer, actually our first event of the year is a virtual prayer event on February the 8th, which is the International Day of Prayer for Human Trafficking. So we are, of course, hosting a prayer event. Let's get the army of prayer warriors that we keep talking about to gaze on God and glance at this and know that we are making a difference. We've seen it. God's shown us time and again how our prayers have impacted things. So let's keep praying together. And it's easier to do it together, right? It's quite a hard topic to face. So let's lift one another up. And so, yeah, my invitation is come on that and bring someone.
I love it. All of these opportunities you just heard about have places that you could get involved and engage in prayer. So each event has an opportunity for you to come and be on the prayer team or to pray online or in a creative way. So all of those things can be found on our website here, even in the next week or so. The virtual prayer, Ruth, that could also be an invitation to men, correct?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, drum roll. I got permission from the powers on the podcast to actually announce this. So we talked about having 5 one-day events, and then we're moving our typical every year multi-day challenge to early 2027. So it's intentional in that we want to expand our reach through invitation and multiplication intentionally through you, through us, through God's Spirit. And then also where we wanted to go, it's best to go in the early part of the year. So the end of February through March, here we go. We are doing the Patagonia Freedom Challenge. And I have to say, it is extraordinary. I have been looking at pictures. We have been finalizing our guides, which have been with us before. If you've ever been with us to any of our international challenges, you know these wonderful guides. They've been a part of your life. We'll talk more about that later. But this major multi-day challenge is in Patagonia, in Argentina. It's going to be extraordinary, and you will be hearing more about that just after the first of the year. All of these others, I'm hearing, Daria and Brooklyn, that these things are opening up any day now, right?
Yeah.
Within the week. And there are so many other things that we're doing that we're not even able to talk about. One last thing, my challenge. Let's just say you're listening and you're like, I can't do any of those. But you could do a marathon. But you could do a pickleball game. You could do a swim-a-thon. You could do any of these things. And you could do that by going to the website and clicking on my challenge and submitting your idea, and this beautiful team coming alongside you. Already there are a few that are working on those. So we invite you to do the same. Well, any parting words, friends, before we close this podcast?
I have 2 thoughts that are jumping into my mind. And one is, if you're listening to this and you've been with us before, but maybe not for a long time, and you're like, oh, can I go back? This year, one of the things I loved is that we had a Freedom sister who came back for the first time in ages because of health issues and different things. And she was filled up by being there. And so come back. I'm just throwing that out there to anyone who's like, oh, this is nice. I like this team, but I don't know anyone anymore. Just come back. The other thing is, for those of you who are beginning to feel inspired by all the local partnerships and stuff that we're talking about, I think maybe you're supposed to do something like the Scottish My Challenge. They rushed that one because of the Edinburgh Festival, and they were like, we know that human trafficking happens everywhere at every time, but it increases from the point of view that there's more demand when there's a big event. So maybe of things coming up, and that would be the perfect time for a My Challenge or a prayer walk, because God just wants us to care, and maybe there's just something to get you or your church involved. If there's an event coming up that you're like, okay, let's cover this. Let's have a prayer time over the Super Bowl, or, just if you're feeling a stirring in your heart, then act on it. That's what I'm feeling.
Well, here we go. We welcome you to all of our events in 2026. We encourage you to follow the website, our social media, keep connected through the podcast that will start again in January 2026. And together we will challenge ourselves. We will pray intentionally and give generously. Our God is so generous, and He has given us the heart and the ability to connect all of these things back to His kingdom work. So until next time, let's do good by helping enslaved women and children do more than you ever thought physically possible, and do it together by connecting with other women, us, and others that have a heart for a hurting world. God bless.
If you liked what you heard, join the fight to set women and children on a pathway to freedom across the globe. We are a proud ministry of Operation Mobilization USA and encourage you to learn more at thefreedomchallenge.com and omusa.org for how you can get involved. Follow us on Facebook, on Instagram at the FCUSA, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a review to let us know what you think. We'll see you next time.